Alone in her hotel room, Tamara flung the bouquet onto a cluttered desk. It caught the edge of a file folder and knocked it to the floor, spilling across the carpet pages of house listings she had combed through for clients. She struggled to reach the zipper on her dress, then yanked, snagging the fabric and leaving a 2-inch hole. Good. 10 minutes later, she was on a treadmill in the hotel gym, running for all she was worth. A crystal-studded bobby pin lost its grip on a curl and bounced to the floor. She ran faster, rock music pounding through her earbuds in a pathetic attempt to drown out her thoughts. 10 miles flew by as she ran until her legs felt limper than cooked noodles. Katie could have Caleb. Instead of being Caleb's wife, Tamara would become an award-winning actress, the kind that was married to her career. Thanks to her time on Eye in the Sky, she had recently signed with a talent agent. Next week, she had an audition for a minor part in a movie. Take that, Caleb. Tamara blinked, her eyelashes sticking together as her mascara clumped with sweat. How was Caleb now her brother-in-law? His children would be her nieces and nephews, not her sons and daughters. She'd be forced to relive the greatest heartbreak of her life at every family get-together for the rest of her life. A sob tore from her throat, and she stumbled before regaining her footing. Crystal-studded bobby pins clung to the ends of her curls and littered the floor. Sweat coated her body, and her lungs burned with exertion. A flash of white caught the corner of Tamara's eye, and she glanced to the right, expecting to see a forgotten towel hanging from the free weights. A man stared back at her, his white t-shirt stretched across taut muscles. Tamara jumped into the air with a scream. Shaky legs reconnected with the treadmill and collapsed. Her butt slammed against the still-moving conveyor belt, and she slid backward before being dumped unceremoniously on the hard floor. Her heart pounded furiously in her chest while she gasped for air. The man rushed forward and crouched down beside her. He still towered over her, easily over 6 feet tall. Cappuccino-colored hair stood on end as though he had recently been sleeping. Dark eyes stared at her with startling intensity from a deeply tanned face. "Are you okay?" he asked, his face lined with concern. Holy crap. She knew who he was. "You're Wyatt James." Her words tumbled over themselves in uneven gasps. Yeah." The smile vanished from his face, but he extended a hand. She must smell worse than a football locker room right now. Tamara accepted the help up, all too aware of her sweaty skin and tear-streaked face. How humiliating. His fingers closed around hers and her breath hitched. His grip was strong and sure as he pulled her to her feet. The genuine concern in his eyes had her limbs turning liquid. Or maybe that was the 10 miles she had just ran. "You're okay then?" She grabbed a tissue from the box on the windowsill and quickly wiped her nose, sniffing. "My ego got the worst of it." The concern in his soulful brown eyes almost made her lose it again. "Bad night?" She laughed, fighting the urge to cover her face with both hands and sob. That's the understatement of the century. "Geez, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't make it worse by scaring you. I thought the gym would be empty by 3 a.m. He hopped onto the treadmill, but started it at a walking pace. "You didn't make it worse." Tamara forced her rubbery legs to support her weight and got back on her still-moving treadmill, setting it at a walking pace as well. She couldn't believe she had been caught crying by Wyatt James, the star offensive lineman of the San Antonio Vigilantes. He glanced at her again, his brow furrowed in concern. "Are you sure everything's okay?" Tears burned her eyes once more, and she blinked quickly. When she spoke again, her voice was a little shaky. "My sister got married today." "Oh." His muscled arm swung gently as he walked, and his brown eyes asked the unspoken question. "To my ex-boyfriend." "Oh. Oh." He ran a hand over his closely cropped hair. "Wow, I'm really sorry." "Me too." She waved a hand rapidly in front of her face, trying to combat the tears. "It's kind of ironic I ran into you since I just sent one of your teammates home. Drew was nice enough to be my date tonight." Silence filled the room. Tamara glanced over at Wyatt, wondering if he hadn't heard her over the whir of the treadmill belts. "How do you know Drew?" His tone was flat, all the warmth from before gone. She blinked. Was she imagining his cold attitude? "We were both on Eye in the Sky." "The reality show, right." Wyatt increased the pace on the treadmill, keeping his focus straight ahead. "I'm surprised to run into you at a hotel. Don't you have a house here in San Antonio?" Drew owned a palatial mansion worth 7 figures, and she assumed Wyatt probably had the same. Tamara and her business partner, Landon, had been trying to break into the high-end real estate market for almost a year. The commission from a single sale would allow her to spend months focusing only on auditions. "They're doing some renovations on it. I'm at a hotel for a night or 2. Didn't he have a teammate who would let him crash on the couch? She opened her mouth to ask, but he had pulled out his earbuds and placed one in his ear, the other dangling down near his massive shoulder. He wanted to run alone. She could relate to exhaustion over fan questions. Her calf was starting to cramp anyway, and she had to leave for the airport in 3 hours. "I'd better go," Tamara said, surprised at how much she wanted to stick around. His shoulders relaxed, and he nodded. "Hope you have a better day tomorrow." "Thanks." She turned off her treadmill and picked up her phone, running a finger over the case. Her agent's voice practically screamed at her to get a picture before leaving. Right now, her biggest asset was her social media presence, and celebrity encounters were the type of photos that got lots of engagement. "Can I get a picture with you before I leave? My followers would love it." Wyatt looked uncomfortable but stepped off the treadmill, leaving it running. "Sure." She grinned and opened up the app. Wyatt stood next to her, his body posture stiff. She could feel the energy coming off him in waves, and it made her entire body tingle. Maybe she shouldn't have asked him for the photo. Yeah, her agent would be ticked if he found out, but she had clearly made Wyatt uncomfortable. Tamara knew what it felt like to wonder if she could force a smile one more time. Oh well, it'd be awkward to take it back now. Instead, she held out her phone and positioned them in the frame. "Smile!" His entire face transformed, and she instantly recognized the fan face she had seen in pictures online. She had that face too. Landon pointed it out to her when she returned from Eye in the Sky. After a few clicks, she dropped her phone, and Wyatt immediately stepped away. Cool air rushed in to brush her skin where his had almost touched hers moments before. "Good luck on the upcoming season," Tamara said, trying to act unaffected by his presence. "Thanks. It was nice to meet you." "You too." Wyatt tucked both earbuds into his ears and increased the speed on the treadmill. Tamara stood in the doorway, admiring his long and even stride before shaking her head and leaving. She pulled out her phone, fingers flying as she posted the best of the 5 photos to social media. "Met Wyatt James tonight," she posted. #celebrity sighting. #football forever. Within seconds, she had over 50 likes and a few comments. And for the first time, the weekend didn't seem like a total loss.